Hello everyone, this is Music and All, and this video is going to be a little bit different because this is movie reaction that I'm going to be doing. Specifically, a Chinese two-part movie. So in thinking about Chinese queer movies, we often associate them with cultural staples like the 2001 movie Lan Lin, or the 1997 classic Happy Together, which, by the way, R.I.P. Wesley, you were very much missed. Now these movies might have not been the first of their kind, but they definitely weren't the last. Yet these iconic movies paved the way during the 20th and the 21st centuries for the depiction and turmoil faced by homosexual individuals. Similarly, Chinese queer dramas such as the 2014 show Like Love or the 2016 global sensation Addicted Heroin that skyrocketed China into the global BL industry, especially in relation to other BL giants at the time like Thailand and Japan. Unfortunately, Addicted Heroin never fully aired before getting banned by China's censorship agency, amongst other shows and projects that were going on at the same time. You just had to be there to see it, man, but R.I.P. for the episodes we'll never see. This video is not to warn the juicy queer media and romances that China will never let us see, but rather talk about the two-part movie series that I've been wanting to make a video on for at least a month. Now, I've already seen these movies, guys, when they first came out in 2016, and I've only rewatched them once since then, but even that rewatch was a few years ago, which RIP to the website I used for that, because now the website I'm looking at the movies on, it's very blurry and not great, and I tried to scour the internet for better quality, so if I can find better quality, I'll insert that, but if not...
You get nothing! You lose! Good day, sir!
You get the 240p, barely can see anything, relying on the subtitles to do all the heavy loading type deal. Now, like I said before, I'm making this video because more people are realizing the potential of Chinese queer media and romance. Just last year, we got absolute cinema, peak cinema. That is ABO Desire, To My Shore, Revenge Love, oh well, etc. We were fed so well, so good, even in the short form content. Which, by the way, if you want me to share my thoughts on any piece of media from any country, doesn't matter what, please let me know in the comments so I can see if I get my thoughts on it. Anyways, without further ado, I present you my review on the Chinese movies A Round Trip to Love and A Round Trip to Love Part 2. I might not get to Part 2 in this video, so I'll be releasing a video the following day. So for context, before I start yapping about these movies, I wanted to introduce the plot through the synopsis and the characters with the actor equivalent shown as well. So I apologize in advance if I butcher their names, but the synopsis reads, Lu Feng and Xiao Chen are two university students who fall madly in love with each other. However, when their families discover them, they oppose and try to separate them. Lu Feng's father sends his son to Hong Kong, while Xiao Chen must face the prejudices and isolation he suffers in college because of his sexuality. Several years later, both young people meet again, but this time in a company as a boss and employee. Both discover that they still feel love for each other and become lovers, but happiness evades them again. Their relationship soon becomes a disease. And yeah, that's the synopsis. So Gao Taiyu / Yao Yang or Yao Yang plays Lu Feng, and Hua Jingxiang plays Chen Yichen / Xiao Chen. So before I get started, I'll be mentioning things like sexual harassment and other unjustifiable behaviors related to forcing yourself on other people, and this all has to do with Lu Feng's obsession with Xiao Chen. So if that makes you uncomfortable in any way, please prioritize your mental health and feel free to click off. For the rest of you staying, let's get started for real this time. The first movie starts with showing us how the second movie ends, and it's literally Xiao Chen taking a bullet for Lu Feng, which rightfully so because their story's crazy, but I'll expound on that once we get into the second movie. But the thing is, we're not even 30 seconds in, and we're already traumatized with the fate of my brother. My brother was a victim. He was a victim. And the director definitely wanted to give us something to look forward to. Since we don't really know why Xiao Chen took the bullet for Lu Feng, that entire bullet incident, that's all the second part of the movie. So after the opening credits, we see Xiao Chen being wheeled into the hospital, and the camera pans to a ring on Lu Feng's finger, which will probably be relevant later, which, yeah, it is, girl. Then Xiao Chen goes into surgery where the surgeon or nurse, I don't know, the hospital staff basically tells Lu Feng that Xiao Chen didn't have the will to live, so he's in a coma right now, and he's just lucky that the bullet didn't hit Xiao Chen's heart. While he's receiving this news, Lu Feng prohibited Xiao Chen's family from seeing him in the hospital, so he's intaking this information, and his family's getting blocked off by his security, which is like, my brother, when I tell you, Lu Feng's audacity throughout these movies, just, oh my goodness, it reminds me of Irresistible Love, another obsessive Chinese movie that came out in 2016. So if you want me to talk about my thoughts about that, let me know, because I plan on doing it anyways, eventually, hopefully, maybe. Nonetheless, Xiao Chen is unconscious in his hospital room, and he narrates basically saying how he wants to share his side of the story on how they met and basically everything that happened until that moment. In turn, we're served with a flashback, which the rest of the movies are. They're serving as a flashback to 2005 and 2010. So it turns out their story begins when they were college roommates and good friends. So Xiao Chen does Lu Feng a favor by washing his clothes. In exchange, Lu Feng takes him go-karting, which we love. One of the rare occasions this man is a green flag. And after their session is done, like the go-karting session, we see Lu Feng trying to put his arm around Xiao Chen and take a picture with him, but it's not really going according to plan because Xiao Chen is looking everywhere but that man's direction. And poor him, but I actually don't like him, so I don't feel too bad. But we can infer as the audience that Lu Feng already had a crush on Xiao Chen, whereas Xiao Chen was clearly oblivious to this fact. Which my heart goes out to them because I know what it's like to have a crush on somebody that doesn't know, but there's instances in which Xiao Chen should have ran and not dealt with that man, but it is what it is. So they have a little K-drama moment in the library after their entire session was over, where they banter and then end up facing each other, just staring at each other's eyes for all the camera angles to see. You know, if that happened to me, I'd be melting.
I'm melting! Oh, what a world!
Room with their other two roommates, and tell me why they were sexually harassing Xiao Chen by egging Lu Feng on by saying, aren't you obsessed with that Xiao Chen? You should top him. Do it. If you don't, I will. If you don't, I will. So Lu Feng, he takes the bait, he bites the bullet, and like goes over and starts harassing Xiao Chen. And then the roommate's like, hey, bet, let me bring other people to the dorm room to watch. Let's all see you top him. Which is just disgusting behavior, might I add. But in his offense, he probably thought this was the only way to get Xiao Chen to reciprocate or understand his feelings, considering that they went on a date and Xiao Chen, one, didn't realize that, and two, was not reciprocating his feelings like that for real. But again, this isn't justifiable in any way, shape, or form. No, no, no. I'm not even gonna try to justify his actions, but I can understand where he's coming from. But that's not okay. So we move on from that. I just also want to say, like, clear sexual harassment, coercion, and force for sexual favors, and sexual assault after constant, clear, concise consent was not given are just big no-nos. Big no-nos. But again, Lu Feng just does not care. So I'm disappointed, but not surprised. Mind you, we are not even 10 minutes into the movie. We're not even 10 minutes into the movie. So after Lu Feng gets rejected, brother doesn't come to school for days, and that's when the roommates say, hey, we just kidding, wow. It's like, fuck you.
Girl, fuck them kids and fuck you too.
Sister of Lu Feng comes to the school looking for Xiao Chen, basically saying that she has to go abroad to handle some business, but because she knows that he hasn't been attending school, she would like Xiao Chen to go to a hotel to find him and bring him back. Me personally, after that fiasco, I wouldn't have been running to find that man. He can stay gone for all I care because what? What are we thinking? What are we thinking? But in Xiao Chen's defense, Lu Feng was his only friend, so I understand why he would just so easily run back to him. But you know, Xiao Chen forgave him, and I think at this point, Xiao Chen is confirmed to like Lu Feng because they have sexual tension immediately when they are in the hotel talking. And I think it's just the fact that he didn't believe that Lu Feng could like him because he's a man, which I definitely do agree because he does verbalize that. And Lu Feng's basically like, so whatever. Which yeah, I can see that. So I think before the movie they always had a mutual crush on each other, but they never confirmed it for their own personal reasons until this moment. Like Lu Feng, he was trying to, but he thought that Xiao Chen was oblivious, so he never like verbally said it. And Xiao Chen just probably took his like Lu Feng's actions as brotherly or friendly because he didn't think that Lu Feng could ever love him because he's a man. So they're talking. And after a bit of flirting, Zekis. Once again, Lu Feng tries to force himself onto Xiao Chen, which thank God Xiao Chen sticks up for himself, but god damn, please leave this man. It's not getting better. Do not I don't understand why he just stays with someone that doesn't understand the word no. That doesn't understand the word no, nor the concept of boundaries. But I fear he learns the hard way. But that's again a topic for part 2. Actually, part 1, just later in the movie. And then they're walking back to Lu Feng's home, I think. And Lu Feng is giving Xiao Chen a piggyback ride. And this man really, it's like, not only are you a red flag, but you're going to sit here and pull the, I only did that because I like you so much. It's like, sir, that is not taking responsibility for the fact that you sexually assaulted Xiao Chen because you wanted to have your way. And he was trying to emotionally manipulate Xiao Chen in the situation by saying, oh, you don't want to give me what I want. Do you even want to be in a relationship with me? It's just, or, yeah, that's what he said. Basically trying to coerce his way into that sexual act. And it's just like, my brother, please, we give you an inch and you take a mile. So the green flag act that you just did is no longer valid. We know what you did last summer, girl. Anyways, as they continue their honeymoon phase, they're watching some random ass couple get married, all the while Lu Feng innocently puts a pop can ring on Xiao Chen's finger. So you know how when you crack open a pop can, there's that little tab? He uses the tab to make a ring. So this is probably the only time I'll like Lu Feng, but he takes Xiao Chen to this indoor gazebo where he presents the custom silver promise rings that he made for them in the previous scene, which he only knew the size of Xiao Chen's ring finger because of that little pop can ring that he made 2 scenes prior. But none of that matters because they exchange promise rings. Bro was trying to pull a sympathy card. Don't really care. And so the police end up seeing them in that indoor gazebo after hours. So they get brought into the station, and he gets taken away. And Lu Feng gets taken away. But before the whole getting taken away thing, there's an important thing to note. While the promise ring proposal was going on, Lu Feng wanted to make an emphasis that Xiao Chen was his and not the other way around, which is important for their relationship dynamic in the future. So put a pin in that. We got a lot of pins right now, but trust. Also, maybe I should do a green flag counter because Lu Feng is a green flag once war with actually this time no ulterior motives. So this is I think this is the second time he's commendable after getting caught by his father. First of all, his father was not having it. No. My son will not be gay. No. And he was talking about how Lu Feng is a disgrace to the family, and because of that, his father was basically saying how he will be shipped off to Hong Kong and not speak to Xiao Chen ever again. And Lu Feng was like, hold up. I will not be shipped off to Hong Kong unless you can ensure that Xiao Chen will not be harmed in any way, that he will be allowed to finish his education and not be affected by the entire situation. So basically, the father agrees. But once he's home and eating with his family, she ices him out because he's a homosexual, which, Asian dynamics, I can't speak from personal experience, but I know it's rough out there for my Asian folk. So if you're dealing with that, my heart goes out to you. But his mom iced him out because he was trying to give her food, share, and, be respectful. And she moved her bowl away. She's like, But his brother, being the trooper he is, was like, oh, here's my bowl. You can just put it in, like, you can put the food in my bowl. And what has me is the fact that his brother plays for the same team as him. which therefore his brother accepts him for who he is, and they don't really talk about what happens, and that's okay because the mom doesn't know that the brother is also homosexual, and as a result, she doesn't have a problem with him. She's like, yucky Xiao Chen, yay Yi Chen. So while at the dinner table, Xiao Chen reveals that he wanted to drop out of high school, and the mom was not having it. She was like, you think it's easy for me to give you an education? You dropping out for a man? You dropping out for a man? I'm going to beat you to death. Which, I'm with the mom. I'm not saying beat your kid to death, but like, you are already a less fortunate individual, and now you're going to use this situation to not try to give yourself a better life? Does that sound smart? Me, personally, I would use this as motivation to get out of my unfortunate economic circumstance in order to not only provide myself a better life, but provide my family a better life too.
There's no need to fear. Underdog is here.
Because he doesn't drop out, nor does he see Lu Feng off before his flight takes off, despite his sister coming in person and being like, oh yeah, his flight leaves at 3:30. You want to go and see him?
No, nigga.
And Xiao Chen, he just rides his bike and cries while doing it, so, he doesn't see him. But you know what does happen? As soon as that man is on that flight and out of the equation, rumors are spreading around the college that Xiao Chen is the reason why Lu Feng is no longer at the school, and that Xiao Chen is a gay man, which is like, okay, girl and what? And girl and what? Which, someone's dad had to be working at the police station in order for that rumor to even spread around. Or, no, because I was going to say, or it could possibly be the fact that Lu Feng's dad spread the rumor, but then wouldn't that just drag his son in the mud too? But neither here nor there. That's not important. I mean, not too important. Well, as this is happening, we're seeing Lu Feng write letters to Xiao Chen. But anyways, as Xiao Chen gets bullied by the entire school, some girl comes to save him by claiming to be his girlfriend, and they get called to the dean, I guess, and the dean was like, "Don't make that up. Don't make it up, girl." And she was like, "You know what? Do I need to call my dad up here? Don't play with me." And the dean was all speechless, so they just walked out. So after walking out, she reveals that she has had a crush on him for a long time. But since she knows he's a homosexual, she states that she'll accept a status as a friend. But he walks away and is like, "Oh, don't surround yourself with me." And right after that, we get a 5-year jump to 2010. So like I said, the first part so far all happened in 2005. And from this point on, it'll be 2010 unless stated otherwise. This time skip, we see Xiao Chen, and according to the English subtitles, they were singing a Linkin Park song, which R.I.P. Chester, you will be missed. Linkin Park is not the same since. And his brother sings a song that sparks up memories of his past with Lu Feng. So he leaves the bar to sit outside and drink, and that's when his brother's boyfriend starts talking to him and asks him why he left the bar and what memories are sparked by his brother singing. And after his brother finished singing, because when he was actively singing, he saw that his brother and boyfriend, I guess, both weren't there, so he checked outsade. And when he checked outside, he sees his boyfriend and his brother together and assumes that his boyfriend was trying to get with his brother. Ooh. So Yi Chen and the boyfriend are having an argument, and the boyfriend's basically explaining that, like, although he was drunk, he would never try to leave Yi Chen for his brother, like for Xiao Chen. Like, are you ridiculous? Utterly ridiculous? You know, you're not doing penchang? Anyways, so Xiao Chen walks in mid-argument between Yi Chen and his boyfriend and clocks that shit. He clocks him because this man really said, "Is she your friend?" Yi Chen says yes, and Xiao Chen was like, "Your boyfriend? Your boyfriend?" And the brother denied it. He was like, "Girl, what? No, what are you talking about?" And Xiao Chen was like, "You need to cherish the one you love and stop pushing him away." And then he walked away like a badass. But the next scene had me floored because it shows the classic CEO montage of Lu Feng getting in the elevator and walking with people behind him, looking like he's hot stuff. And he gets to the floor where the office workers are, and that's when we see Xiao Chen on the job getting bullied because he just can't do that damn job right. Can't do that damn job right. So some papers fell on the floor, and while Xiao Chen is picking them up, and girl, he sees a hand with a ring on it, and when he looks up, he sees his ex. He sees his ex in a turtleneck looking all good, and a turtleneck looking all good. But then we see the inverse perspective where we see Lu Feng looking at Xiao Chen's hand, and he doesn't see that promise ring. So Lu Feng and Xiao Chen is very awkward. There's tension. So some extra says something, nobody really cares. And Lu Feng breaks the ice by stating, "Xiao Chen, I never thought I would see you again. I never thought I would see you again." If this was a game of bullshit, I would win, because I know that's a damn lie. That's a lie. Lie. All men do is lie. This man is rich and presumably the CEO, so he probably saw his application and let him in personally, but is playing like he didn't know that he applied to the company so he could get closer to him again. Or there's just a 1% chance that he actually didn't know, but honestly, I don't like this man, so it doesn't really matter, because at the end of the day, he gets what he wants, regardless of if he knew he applied to the company or not. Whew. Although their first interaction was very cold and closed off, that's okay, because that's when we get a company dinner where they all play truth or dare. And of course, our obsessive king Lu Feng, had to join the party and pay for the meal. Now, he tried to make it a game, being like, if the company employees lost, then they would have to pay for the meal, and if he lost, he would have to pay. I think he lost, but I don't really care. And this would have been a green flag if he didn't have the ulterior motive of being there and, seeing Xiao Chen. During this time, during the dinner, Lu Feng makes a weird-ass comment talking about, "I'm pretty sure Xiao Chen has a girlfriend," after one of the employees swore up and down that Xiao Chen was single. Now, this ended up biting the motherfucker in the ass because Zolan, sorry guys, butchering names, the girl that confessed to Xiao Chen in college 5 years prior, ended up picking him up from the dinner party and taking him home, which Lu Feng did not like, but womp womp womp. We don't care about this man and his feelings. So as mentioned previously, this man is super obsessed because the next day Lu Feng shows up to Xiao Chen's house unannounced to get his MacBook fixed. And after that, his first words were literally hounding Xiao Chen about where his girlfriend was and if he was hiding her out somewhere. And it's just like, my brother, give it a rest for 2 seconds. You have this man on your mind since day one. But this man, unfortunately, does not give it a rest because he forces Xiao Chen to cook him some ramen or whatever because he was like, "Me hungry." And they have a little cute moment where they feed each other, a little banter. But Lu Feng loves to ruin this moment like any other to basically say that Xiao Chen is a liar, a cheat, get the fuck out, for saying that he has a girlfriend when there's only one set of eating utensils in his apartment. Which, I mean, yeah, but like, who are you? Who are you? And I must say, the director had to be pulling all the stops because it not only felt like a K-drama with that eating scene, and they just had to crank it up into high gear by making a Lady and the Tramp reference. Spot the difference. And then the keys, and then the keys. And after Lu Feng felt like he bagged his man after that dinner, Lu Feng had dinner with his family later that night and decided to tell his dad then and there, mid eats, that he wanted to cancel the wedding that he was having with another rich girl's family. And his sister was like, oh, Dad, he meant postpone. And his sister is coming to his defense because the dad, like, anytime this man talks to his dad, was not having it. And I think it's because the sister knows that Xiao Chen is back in Lu Feng's life, and the dad wasn't having it the first time, so she's like, anything for my little brother's side, and she's a real one for that. Which a little bit after is confirmed that she did know that Xiao Chen was back into Lu Feng's life, and he was like, oh, how do you know? And she's like, girl, I'm your sister. Why wouldn't I know what's going on with my little brother? But despite Lu Feng thinking he bagged a baddie, it doesn't matter because his engagement becomes headlines, and Xiao Chen sees this right before giving Lu Feng a key to his apartment, because while they were having dinner that day before, Lu Feng is like, give me key, and Xiao Chen, the gullible boy he is, was like, okay. So in turn, after finding out that Lu Feng has a wifey to be, he crashes out and goes day drinking, and his brother is trying to talk some sense into him and was like, you saw him, didn't you? And of course Xiao Chen denies this fact. But after his day drinking little extravaganza adventure, he turns in his letter of resignation to Lu Feng directly. So I'm pretty sure if he turned in his letter of recognition to Lu Feng directly, then Lu Feng had to know that Xiao Chen was working there. I'm convinced. I am convinced. And this man just cannot be a green flag for more than one scene because he throws himself onto Xiao Chen because he won't accept the fact that he wants to resign. He's like, I asked for a key, not your letter of resignation. So he throws the papers at him. He's like, I will not accept this. And Xiao Chen was like, that's too bad. And because he throws himself onto Xiao Chen again, starts kissing and touching unconsensually, we see sexual assault again. But Xiao Chen is once again a trooper because he confronts Lu Feng about his fiance and has the audacity, which rightfully so, to say, I told you yesterday. I asked you, did you have a girlfriend? And you lied to me. Why would I want to be with somebody that has a fiance? And just he was not having it. And of course, Lu Feng had to come back with the gall to say, it doesn't matter if I'm getting married. You're the only one I like. What are you talking about, dog? Please, what are you talking about? So after Xiao Chen says that he threw away the ring that was given to him 5 years ago, which, spoiler alert, no he don't, girl, and wouldn't go back to Lu Feng after finding out the news, Lu Feng stays trying to have his way. My brother does not understand no means no. So while Lu Feng is trying to do whatever, and Xiao Chen is disassociating, he also drops a fire bar by saying, I don't love you anymore. Don't you think after all this time, people change? And this would have been a fire bar if it was at the end of the movie because my delusional brother in Christ, just doesn't stop. So Xiao Chen gets out of that situation again, and he's packing up his desk and other belongings when another employee spills that Lu Feng is postponing his wedding, and because of that, the stocks of the company are dropping, and they won't be able to get their quarterly bonuses. So Xiao Chen is doing right by, leaving. And my thought for all of this is just like, over some dick you never got is crazy work.
Big deal. Like sucking dick and cock. Like I'm just like, oh my god. Time and place.
That is the moral of the story. All of this over dick that was never given to you. Never. A woman got him before Lu Feng could even touch. But, what has me is the fact that in the next scene, Yi Chen comes to Xiao Chen's workplace to give him a box of letters. That same box of letters that we saw Lu Feng writing earlier on, that Lu Feng wrote to him during that 5-year gap. And my thing is, why would you come to this man's workplace after seeing him at day drinking and day drinking himself into a state of sorrow? And it hasn't even been a day. And it's especially at work. Do you want rumors to be created for your brother? It's like, could those letters genuinely not wait a few hours? What are you doing? Nonetheless, the brother is a real one as well, considering that he stated the mom wanted to burn all the letters that were sent, but instead he kept them in secret after all these years. So, the brother and the sister, the only green flag so far. And actually, and the boyfriend too, because the boyfriend wasn't even trying to get with Xiao Chen. He was just trying to comfort him. But, come on. Anyways, I'm not going to lament over that. So Xiao Chen is just like, thanks, buddy. And he takes the letter, he reads them at work, which is like, why? Pack your fucking box, brother. And then he basically goes to look for Lu Feng just to find out that my brother in Christ is at some construction site. And he goes to the construction site to tell Lu Feng about him just not receiving the letters. And Lu Feng's like, baby, are you crazy? Going to a construction site without a hard hat, you're asking for something to happen. And as a civil engineer, yeah, you are, girl. Yeah, you are. Even I got my hard hat. So Lu Feng gives his hard hat to Xiao Chen, and literally right after that, something happens. Like some boulders fall from the fucking sky. Like we're Chicken Little. The sky is falling.
The sky is falling! The sky is falling! Are you
Should be all the more reason not to get together. He is a disaster. So like I said, some workers drop some concrete from the excavator. Rightfully so. Lu Feng should have been dead and gone right there. But whatever. He shall live on. After Lu Feng heals from that entire thing, they go on a date to some fancy restaurant, and that's when they run into Yi Chen and his boyfriend. And Yi Chen basically gets like invited by his brother to sit down, eat, enjoy with them. So Shao Chen was like, hey, what are you guys doing around here? I didn't know you all like that. I didn't know you go to these fancy restaurants. And Yi Chen was basically saying how they were out and about getting things for Chinese New Year and how they were tired and they just wanted to go to the restaurant to eat. Furthermore, he reveals that his boyfriend is going to be coming over to their house to meet his mom during Chinese New Year because his mom loves him so much. And you know what? This enrages Lu Feng. This man hears this, and Shao Chen was like, stop, shh, be quiet. So Lu Feng is like, let's go now, and drags Shao Chen out of their restaurant. And Yi Chen is just like, what the fuck? And starts like screaming for his brother. And the boyfriend was like, let's just eat. That was the rudest man I've ever met. Which is like, girl, I would have been saying the same damn thing. And I just wish jealousy would be the death of this man. But, you know, Lu Feng is a green flag once again for a millisecond as he comes to Shao Chen's house for Chinese New Year's in order to drop off some balloons and a Walkman that he had, like, wanted to give him as a present for Chinese New Year instead of going back to his family. Which my thing is the fact that, one, fuck Shao Chen for literally taking the balloons to get the Walkman out of the bag that the balloons was attached to, but then letting the balloons just go off into the abyss that is the sky. The sky's falling! And it's just like, you could have just put the balloons in your house, but I guess he didn't want like his mom/family to know that he had somebody in his life. And also, fuck Lu Feng, because his family doesn't want him to like men. So what compelled you to pull up to Shao Chen's house? What? Like, you don't know his family situation. But anyways, neither here nor there. The movie ends with Shao Chen listening to the music playing on the Walkman that Lu Feng provided whilst holding up his hand with the ring on his finger, with Lu Feng following suit. And then we roll to ending credits. So yeah, this video was a long one, so I'm just gonna talk about part 2 in the next one. But I hope I explained that in much detail as possible. And if it sounded choppy, that's because the movie is a little choppy. Literally, one thing will happen, and then those two are back together in no time. And I'm like, girl, give us some time. It's like, if you're gonna run back to him, at least give me a break first. But yeah, it's only downhill from here. This is Lu Feng peaks here, and that's saying something. But yeah, peace, love. Catch you in the next one. Bye bye.